You're listening to 182.3, Care What People Think.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Care What People Think podcast. My name is Ryan and I'm here with my co-host. What is your name, Will?
Well, Mans just said it. Does this every week and asks me what my Will's name Will is.
Yeah.
And then says my name.
Oh, Will. Anyway, today we're going to be diving into a topic that can truly change your life, and I'm being serious. This topic today is going to be about what 3 months of action can achieve in your life. We talked a lot about our goals in 2025 in our last episode. We're trying to start with a little bit of a motivational topic segment starting 2025. So before we get into that topic, though, a quick life update for myself and a highlight of my week is what we always do. So for me, I'm going to relate it to the topic. It's a little basic, but I've actually been in Charlotte, North Carolina, my new home, for 3 months now. And
hey, the timing. That's perfect.
I know, right? I know. Anyway, man, I think it is wild to see how much I have changed, how much has changed around me. And moving here has just been such like a huge step. And I've really put myself out there and put an effort to meet people, whether that's coworkers. Really coworkers for the most part. Nah, honestly,
All
dude,
good.
just getting myself out there, man, though. And trying to, just giving people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe back in my hometown, I'd be like, you're weird. Maybe I'm not. I'm hanging out with those weird people now, and it's not the end of the world. So either way, making friends, dude, adjusting to a new routine. And I feel like it's moments like these that remind me how much I can do and like what happens to me. Like I can just do it, right? So like I kind of feel empowered, and I know you don't have to fucking applaud, but I'm just happy for my own self. Also, there's definitely highlight of my week was you can call me a fucking simp. Was meeting someone this pretty special. I moved out to Charlotte to
and she's a coworker. That's what he meant when he was saying he was
and she's my boss. She's 52, has 3 kids. She calls me son. Anyway, I'm into it. No, honestly, bro. Imagine, dude. Imagine.
I didn't know you were going to say you're into it. That's crazy.
I bring her back. My mom's like 60. She's like, whoa, hey. Like, bring me a new friend? No. Yeah, we're serious.
Your mom went to the same school as this person. They're both just the same age.
Oh, hey, Megan. Nah, that's no, but then genuinely like a highlight of my week. I feel like this is kind of random. She's pretty special. The reason why I'm like shouting her out is because and you know who you are, like when I'm saying this, but from the start of like meeting her, I feel like I've just been like a lot more energized and positive, like not necessarily because of like how she treats me, but like it's just I don't know, been helping me like to motivate and like know that there's stuff out there. So and we clicked right away. So I feel lucky to have crossed paths with her, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But basically what I'm trying to say is I moved out to Charlotte to like meet my wife, man. And I think that's kind of
cool. This guy, look at that. You can sense the bubbly feeling in his voice. That's an awesome feeling.
Nah, man. That's also chicks, bro. I don't know, man. I don't think that's a weird thing to talk about. I think it's cool.
Well, no, it is cool because, I mean, moving, because that's the other thing you learn from moving is like, no matter how well you plan, moving fucking sucks. And it's like, it's an uphill battle. Like,
bro, it sucks moving off the couch, bro, let alone across the country.
Like, you can't be on top of moving. Some shit will go wrong. Well, okay, not go wrong, but like shit just has to get figured out. Like I assume, for example, you had to put everything you own and wanted to bring in a car that's small. That sucks. Like in general, that's a shitty process because then you got to pack all that shit. Then if you, for example, you get unlucky like my apartment, I didn't get a fridge included with my apartment. So I had to fucking go out, get a fridge, get a U-Haul to get the fridge.
You want to get them? I'll list them out right now, bro. Okay, first off, don't have many things. I mean, if you're poor like me. Second off, don't have much money to buy new things. Third thing, don't have friends. Don't have family. Don't have a job that you don't know your coworkers. You genuinely don't know where anything is. You also don't know the vibe of some places. You don't know safe spots. You don't know unsafe spots. You don't know, like, there's so much shit. There's so much unknown. And I think that is so scary. But I feel like this is crazy because it does relate exactly with the topic. But like this 3 month like hump almost, I'm feeling it getting easier. I'm feeling like I'm pushing myself and it's not feeling as hard. And I think that is so cool. And that's why I brought it up, man. I don't know if there's a genuine like takeaway from what I like my highlight of the week, but no, I'm just feeling like it's a lifted weight and that's pretty cool. So
No, that's good because I know we both. I don't want to say we both as if we had the same experience to the start of the year, but we both didn't have great starts to the year, just having a rough start. So I'm glad that everything has been working out a lot better. Um,
for both of us.
but no, yeah, and the 3 month thing just to start it off. Just like you said, like moving away, you get exposed to a bunch of new shit, which is really scary, but it forces you to like grow because you have no one to do the shit for you. Like if your mom said, "Hey, go do the laundry," if you low key, yep. If you grew up like me, your boy just was like, "Oh, do the laundry. Okay, I'm gonna put that at the last list of my priority because worst comes to worst, my mom will probably do it." That's just what happened. That's
You know
just
what you
what
also
happened
didn't
for
do
a
as a
while.
kid is make food or go to the grocery store and buy food, and you didn't buy it with your own money if you somehow did. And I feel like those
Yep.
three things suck because I don't want
We're
to go to
doing
the
it during the
grocery
week.
store and I don't want
Yep.
to make food and I don't
Yep.
want to like think about that stuff. And that's just all about adulting. And you know what? I've found peace in doing that, and I've like bought some nice like cooking stuff and had some fun with it. So I don't know, man. You just got to approach things differently, but you're so right.
Yeah. So like with being in an environment where it's forcing you to learn, I feel like that's also what a good that's what a 3 month period gives you. It gives you a jump off the cliff or like a run back to safety moment. Um and this statistically, this is what happens with relationships or even like in my personal experience, like in high school, right? My relationship lasted 3 months. 3 months is typically when people usually kind of they bring their walls down of like putting on the facade of like, oh, I'm a perfect person, date me.
Well,
And
also the
then
honeymoon phase too.
yeah, so that's usually when people kind of put that down. I mean, that goes for any like college fucking adults. It's not just like a high school thing. Like 3 months is it's a phase of when people kind of start to be real. And so if you recognize that, it can be a really powerful tool if you like incorporate that into your planning. But yeah, that's why also you'll just notice a lot of things like like I'm trying to think like business quarters, for example, there's four in a year because they're 3 months long. A lot of pay cycles, like I know on YouTube, it's every 90 days. A lot of social medias run in 90 days. 90-day increments are a really good measurement based on sales because it's long enough of a time period to see patterns, but it's not too long where there's too many random factors like holidays or other capitalistic things that run into it. So like
Yep.
it's you can see it in a lot of different places. And so there's a lot of like it's like that for a reason
Yeah,
is
man.
basically what I'm trying to say.
I mean, yeah, I'll talk about just like why the 3 month like plan works and just why like that's why the deadline is. I'll kind of talk about what you just said, but you're right. It's long enough to see progress and short enough to stay motivated. And I think
Yeah.
fitness, learning a new skill, or saving money, I think it's all doable within like 90 days. A lot of the goals we were talking about last week, it's doable in 90 days for the most part, um, or at least to get like a start on these things. And I think I mean, I have a great question for you, but like, why do you think people often like underestimate what they can accomplish in 3 months? So like if you tell people this and they're still like, I don't think so. I need more time. I need 6 months. Like, why do you think people do that?
Like reject a
Yeah,
three
like
month task.
underestimate, not necessarily reject it, but they're just like, I don't think that's a attainable goal. Like, why do you think people often underestimate what they can accomplish?
I feel like this kind of is one of my points, but I feel like just naturally people go through phases of things in 3 months, or like your body is allowed, like you don't notice you do certain behaviors up until around 3 months, and then you start to change or you start noticing what you're doing. So, like, if someone's gonna say, oh, you could work out and actually gain a lot of muscle in 3 months, I think the disconnect with that is like visual. Like, for example, if you go to the gym for 2 weeks, you're not going to see any growth. And so the immediate turnoff is like, well, 2 weeks didn't work. So 3 months isn't going to do anything because there's
I
such a
agree. I think
contrast.
it's that initial like not is it
Yeah.
gratification? Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, where like you know how we've been kind of wired now with like social media where we're like getting these nice releases of dopamine so quick that we're like, oh,
Yeah.
we don't have a six pack within 2 times at the gym. I don't think we're gonna get anything in 3 months, or I don't think it's gonna get easier than this. So I think I agree with you, man. Like people often underestimate who they can be within 3 months and sometimes can't trust the process. I think that has a lot to do with our generation too. It's harder to stick with things. So
Yeah, and I mean 3 months is also just blessed cuz it from my perspective like you pointed out it's not nearly as intimidating of a challenge. I mean, when you lay it out, it's intimidating. Like I think why I asked instead of like you said do people underestimate it and I was asking if people turn away from it. I feel like if you were to go up to someone and say, "Hey, you're excited about this. Do you want to do it for 3 months?" That sounds like a large commitment, but if people just live their day to day life, 3 months go by really fast. But if you're going to
100%.
start a new change, so that's why, like, I think it's great to do 3 month stuff because that's kind of a natural curiosity type phase. Like, for example, if you were going to get into, say you were going to get into a certain video game or whatever. I'm biased because I'm boy, I play video games. If I'm going to play a
You're a
game,
man. You play video
my
games. A man.
yeah. Yeah, I'm a man and I play Roblox. So if I'm trying to be better at this game, naturally I will not get bored playing for 3 months. I personally also have a further burnout or a less burnout time. Like I can't play a game for that long before I get bored as fuck. Most of the reason that I play games is because I play with other people. Like Ryan and I, if you know anything about FIFA, in FIFA 17, this man whooped my ass. Each game of FIFA is 20 minutes, and we played 430 times together, like against each other. That's not even
That's
including
not
like single
counting
player and everything.
overtime.
Yeah. And this man won like 300 of those 400 times. I got absolutely decked on. But again, if I were to play FIFA by myself, I wouldn't play. And that again is a different like game mechanic, but usually I feel like 3 months is a natural. You can be curious for 3 months and
I
just
agree.
be coasting.
This is actually like a little off topic, but I this is kind of confusing to me, like how the psychology works with people. Like some people are just all about like that grind and like let's just say FIFA for like a video game. They're just all about it. They could care less about the community aspect. You see people go at like at a bar, right? And you're just like, how are you drinking alone? Like I mean that kind of makes me sad.
Yeah.
Like, but that's not even related to the topic, but it just made me think, I'm like, damn, like why are we so connected socially to some things while people are more connected with the action of other things, and like it's weird.
Yeah, no, I definitely I relate to that because when I would stream all throughout 2021 to 2023, bro, people would be sitting at their desk for like I've done a 24-hour stream. I think I've done two of them. I think I've done two 24-hour streams. I can more so do it because I switch games every 3 hours because who the fuck has the time to play one game for 12 hours? And I feel like I couldn't have even done that as a kid because as a kid, time feels slower because you've been on Earth less time. So everything feels longer relative to you.
And you're low-key growing, and I feel like when you're growing you're tired more, and I feel like sleep is just necessary. Like when I was a kid I could stay up
Yeah.
forever, but then I'd have to sleep in. I don't know what it was like.
Man's
I
acting
couldn't.
like he's 35.
Low key, dude. I feel like it, man. I also feel like when I was a kid, I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, but like in increments. Like it would take it out of me too at the same time. So, I mean, you're literally Kai Cenat, which is dope, and that's
Man's
cool.
is streaming. Bro, he's got a different production going on.
He
24
does.
hours is fucked. Have we ever even like pulled it all nighter?
I'd probably. I mean, we probably.
Probably like in person. Because we definitely did that shit on Fortnite during the
Yeah, I was
pandemic.
about to say, yeah, we
Definitely
did
did that shit.
Yeah, and we can maybe make an episode about this, but we released some banger music back in what 2020
2020.
2020 yeah.
2020.
No, we literally did this thing where we would just get like bored and we would pick a beat on YouTube, make some lyrics to it, man, and just go for it. And honestly,
This
shitty.
guy.
It was terrible. No, it was terrible. I'm
It
just
was
being
a
honest.
funny grind, just waking up,
It was.
pandemic, thinking spring break was in 2 weeks. We would wake up, what, noon, get cereal, get on Fortnite, play for like 5 hours, maybe take a break, go to FIFA, go back on Fortnite. Oh, it's 8 p.m. Let's just make a song.
We were
Did that for like
gamers,
7 days in a
bro.
row.
We were grinding too. We were bored out of our minds. Honestly,
Without streaming.
yeah, no, seriously.
monetization.
Honestly, if you made it to this point though, as a viewer or listener, sorry, just actually tell me like what you did during COVID to keep your mind at ease, because I'd love to hear that. I think Will would too. So,
That is actually an interesting point because that's probably what that would have been. It would have been incredibly interesting to see if the pandemic only lasted 3 months,
yeah,
because
that's
I
true.
feel like that added to a lot of people's, like, the fact that it
Like
was
habits
so
and
long.
like who they were. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it was so like ingrained to stay inside for so long. Because if it was like after 3 months, kind of like, lift up the curtains, like, okay, you're all kind of good to like be going outside and everything. But it was still pretty much all of 2020 was like fucked. So I think that would be interesting because you can be so productive in 3 months without realizing it.
100%, 100%. Well,
Did you have
yeah.
another point?
Yeah, I actually do. I'm going to talk a little bit about like a real success story. I was going to relate it to you, Will, but I mean, I'm not going to lie. How many subscribers do you have?
True.
But
My
dude,
bad.
but you do though. Like you have a success story, and it's like just on a different scale. But actually, like an example of these success stories, I was going to talk about like some fitness goals, even something as stupid as like learning an instrument or whatever, or a career breakthrough. But I was like, nah, let's relate it to YouTube. So I think 3 months is like the perfect time frame to test what works for you. And I just looked up like random shit on Google that was like real story of like somebody that just tried something for 3 months. And I came across this guy named Thomas Frank. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay. He's actually on YouTube. He's a productivity and personal development like YouTuber. He actually just like ran this test where he decided on focusing like his growth on a channel for 90 days. He said he wasn't going to upload after that, didn't have any uploads before that. And he's been creating content for years, but he started a new channel, right? And he wasn't seeing the growth he wanted. So his action plan was he committed to uploading 3 videos a week, improving his content's quality and like refining the audience engagement. So really just quality over quantity. He again 3 times a week is still a lot though.
Yeah, that's insane.
And then over 3 months, his channel grew significantly, tens of thousands of subscribers. And Thomas obviously hasn't left YouTube since then because he did pop off. I think he went back to his other channel, but either way, within 3 months, gaining tens of thousands of subscribers, just tells you that consistency, quality, and a focused effort can obviously lead to a big breakthrough. Even if the results aren't immediate. So he wasn't seeing results for like a month and a half out of those 3 months at all. He got lucky, obviously. Not everyone gets lucky. Will, I genuinely still think that you have a pretty cool success story of where you were like even like 8 fucking years ago, man. I think it's awesome. But
yeah, I did the math. We're preaching do 3 month things. I've done 48 3-month trials of YouTube. Isn't that a crazy stat? That's how
crazy.
I've done. That's 12 years. 48
that's crazy,
3-month
bro.
increments.
That's crazy. Either way, bro, I just share like a real story, and I think it's really cool to see actual growth. And just like if you dig in deep, that goes for YouTube, that goes for in the gym, that goes for career mentality, anything that you can think of. If you just start and get off your ass, it's gonna get easier after 3 months. I can almost promise you that, which is kind of cool. A question for you, Will, is do you think you have like any tricks for sticking with something when like your excitement fades or like you're getting not necessarily like bored, but you're just not into it like you started with?
Damn, that's really tough because ironically, I ended up fading out and not getting excited. Not getting excited, but I ended up fading out of waking up before work to go to the gym. I did that from September basically to December, and then it was easy to lose the consistency because it was, me and Paris are traveling and I gotta go home. And then I'm also proud today's day 2. I'm back in the gym at 6 in the morning. And so that is just an interesting case study. I did it from September to December. That's 3 months again. So the 3 month hump is like really tough. And so when I am really not feeling it, um, oh man, I hate answering your question with like a question. But like it kind of depends on the goal. Because if you're saying
Nah,
like you're
nah,
no, no, no,
not the
listen,
kind
listen,
of
listen.
depends answer.
No, no, no. Because if your goal is to get better grades, for example, that maximum can only happen 9 months total. Because then your
True.
grades reset because you go to another, you change grade. So like if
I'll give you a more of a situation, right? If you I mean, we'll use like the gym as an example. If you are trying to go every single morning, maybe 6 times a week to the gym
fuck, you know.
just to work out for 3 months. I know that's a lot, but you've told yourself I'm going to do this for 3 months. Let's just say you hit 2 months and you're like, "Holy shit. I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this. I'm not excited about it." What do you do? Like how do you pivot?
See, that's crazy because I would be having those thoughts within the month or first month. Once you hit 2 months, I feel like my whole time I'd be like, fuck this, but I'm literally about to be done. Like I'm
Okay.
about to be
Okay,
done.
so yeah, what about 1 month? What about 1 month?
If I'm like 1 month in, I feel like I would find ways to uh I'd find ways to basically reward myself for continuing the progress. So like if I'm working out for 3 months, that's the goal. Say I'm not feeling working out or whatever, I would tell myself, okay, I'm going to work out, but when I get home, I'm going to reward myself with a protein shake that I'm like buying at a really nice smoothie place or something. So it's like that's a healthy thing that helps me get to my goal, but it's also a reward for still doing the thing in the morning
Yeah,
versus
valid.
not going. Because the second you go, oh, I've earned this day off. Nope, you're slippery slope. Slippery slope. Because it's so
Exactly.
easy to keep saying that.
And then the
Over and over.
next day is like you have to top it again and then top it again. And the
Yep.
next thing you know, you're buying yourself a Rolex just for going to the gym. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I guess one point, my last point, was if kind of getting back to the idea of like every 3 months, I think like people can just kind of like coast and exist and not like do whatever for 3 months and be like, whoa, 3 months already passed. And like, if 3 months already can feel like it can fly by, then that should be like, that should just be incorporated into your plans, which again, I kind of mentioned at the beginning, but like, if you, for example, are wanting to get better grades, you could bank on a schedule that is okay. I'm going to study consistently for 3 months. Then, and again, consistently meaning not every day, not every hour or whatever, but like you could say,
Totally.
I'm going to study extra on top of homework. Maybe it's simply starting at twice a week or maybe 3 times a week. And then you do that for the 3 months. And then by the time you're done with 3 months, you probably don't give a fuck about all the stuff you're probably going to get bored, but
Yeah.
one, you've probably built a habit, and two, your goals probably been closer to be
Well, and
obtained
your
if like your grades are
mentality
better.
is shifted. Your mentality is shifted. You're not like feeling lazy. You're feeling like, okay, I'm being proactive and it's making me feel better in some way. So I think the majority of like our episodes are talking about discipline and like just making sure you are on top of your goal and not doing too much, but doing what needs to be done. And I think, like you said, like it makes a difference in your life. Um, just yeah, from the start.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a meeting with me and Ryan for the show in 3 months. So that's called Q1, quarter one, and so that'll be around March. So then that's how you check in, and that's something I've learned from my fucking 9 to 5 job is over. I didn't realize how overly like or how over the top you have to create either bonding things or experiences with coworkers or the amount of like I don't want to say like what's the word? Like when you're in school and a teacher's saying the most obvious shit and you're like, gosh, this is like pulling teeth. Like I know what the project is. I know what to do. Why are you
100%.
still talking? Let me start.
Yes.
That is a 9 to 5 because then they have every right to like low key be upset with you when you don't get the work done. And anyone that has any like education can interpret the project. Like they have to be so over the top, and that's just important. Because that like so I guess I'm relating it because like you and me will like talk about the show or whatever.
Yeah.
That may not seem that big of a deal on the outside, but like you have to force a lot of like let's just be in the environment of on a call and then eventually we'll bring up the whatever and we just reflect and naturally we'll just reflect over the last 3 months to aim for the next 3 months.
Yes.
It's just
Yeah,
a
you got to
lot more
keep
important, I
yourself
think.
on track, and I think it really doesn't take as much effort as you think. Like, I mean, we talked about it last episode of just literally cleaning your room at 2 a.m. Sometimes you just have weird ass like thoughts of, okay, I want to do this now. I've never had I've never had, what's the word? Fuck. I've never like wanted to do this during the day, right? But for some reason, I have like this spark of energy. That's the same thing with like reflecting on these goals, coming back to it. Just it's not as hard as you think, but if you do it, it like can genuinely change like the outlook of your life and your goals. Like they can just you can see them growing in front of you, which is awesome. And for
Yeah.
me, like a difference in my life, this is so random, but I actually just picked up reading like it's like fiction books. It's nothing like insane, but I took it out of my time to be like, okay, I want to start this book, and I started it in October. I was not very fast at reading because I haven't read in a long time, just like for fun, right?
Yeah.
But it's been 3 months since then, or a little bit over then, dude, and I enjoy it, man. I've hit that like
I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna say it's been 3 months, man, and I
and
fucking
I
burned
fucking
the
hate
book.
it. No, but
Like
the
I,
thing is, hey man, if I want to burn the book, sure, man. But I genuinely like enjoyed it, and I never thought I would be reading, and I think that's kind of cool, man. It's a second hobby of mine, or another hobby of mine that I just never thought I could do. But why I bring that up though is because something that you don't think is attainable, like you could have asked me 2 years ago, would I have read a book for fun, Will? And you would have been like, oh hell no, you would be on a video game or you would be doing some playing soccer. Nah, dude.
nah, the book would have been titled "Cranking 90s." Have to.
Back
Just
to
a Fortnite
Fortnite.
book.
Back to Fortnite books, yeah. Buy Ninja's book. That's what it was actually. It was Ninja's book. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm just bringing that up because I think it's a huge point that like although you might not think you're the person for that goal, that does not define you. And the goal is like so much bigger than that. Like, I don't know, like even if you don't like it, push through it. And if you fucking hate it after 3 months, dude, whatever. But I'm telling you, man, it gets easier. So that's all I got for today.
Yeah, no, that's good. Fuck! I do this every week. I do this every week. Every week.
Dude,
If
I don't
you're
know
gonna listen to
how.
what?
No. Before you do it, actually, I have to talk you through it. As a listener, Will has done this multiple times where he just sits in silence because he thinks I'm doing the outro. Therefore, he knows I did the intro. I literally
We
like
have a tag that says Ryan does intro on these episodes.
yeah, because we
And I
have
do.
speaker notes just to keep us, on time and on target and stuff like that. Bro forgets every fucking week. Wild, bro. Anyway, continue.
Well, if you were going to listen to one thing throughout this episode, remember, do something for 3 months and you will see progress, or I mean you'll know what you got involved in, which is, that's great. You'll have a full understanding of what you're actually doing, whether it's building a habit, whether it's starting a new skill or it could be a career. It's important, and it doesn't take as much work. It doesn't take a whole year to think in the grand scheme of things. um and yeah, I mean, the example that I also gave is like taking a walk 3 times a week, play a certain game, do a certain hobby, go to a certain place. That's something people don't think about. Like everyone can do their own thing for 3 months and you'll see a lot of growth. But bro, if you are struggling to meet people, go to the fucking library and sit in the same spot every Tuesday for 3 months. Someone will notice that you are a regular. And when people notice who's in the same environment, it's a lot easier to be approached or approachable because you're like, oh, that's the regular Joe Schmo. He's been here for the last like 3 days.
That and another good goal out of that too is like you're gonna feel a little bit more comfortable in the environment. Maybe that first day
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh hell no, that seems super awkward. But I mean, you'll learn a lot about yourself just by sitting there, which is crazy, but it's true.
Yeah. So you'll be surprised on the patterns that you pick up and what others will see when you're around and you stick to something for just 3 months. Remember, care what people think, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week on 182.3.